All right, we are live. Welcome into another edition of House Money Fantasy's NFL Lineup Builder. We'll be taking you through a lineup on DraftKings that we like for cash and another lineup that we like for GPP. With me tonight, I'm TJ. With me tonight, I have Charles and Cheesy. Why don't you guys
What's up,
introduce
guys?
yourself?
It's me. It's me. It's at CHEZ.
Oh my, I like it. Yeah,
What's up,
I'm
guys?
just.
I'm making that happen.
How you guys doing? Good.
Doing great. Cowboys won tonight. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Just lovely.
Cowboys won. I got the Houston Golden State game on. That's what I was going to ask you, Charles. Is how now we're kind of in the swing of things in NBA, and Tuesday I know you play mostly NFL, but Charles, how do you manage your bankroll with NFL still going on and getting into the swing of things of NBA?
Right now, I'm actually still going pretty light on NBA. The most I'm playing a night is maybe $10 a night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to get my footing down. Last season was my first season doing NBA, so I don't want to try to get ahead of myself.
Yeah. All right. And without further ado, let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen so we can get into the lineup here.
All right, but before we jump into our DraftKings lineup builder, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsor of the show. Tonight's sponsor, yet again, is Flaffle House. Flaffle House is the place to go for NFL fantasy advice and shenanigans. As you can see, wait, no, I'm not supposed to say that. I am not wearing a Flaffle shirt. Flaffle offers weekly articles, podcasts, rankings, and more. Make sure to check them out on flafflehouse.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at flafflehouse. Their podcast offers great insight, and guys like Kevin Cotillo, Sal Lito, Stephen Marcus, and more than just names listed on iTunes. These guys and the rest of Flaffle family let you into their lives and share a wealth of fantasy football knowledge. If you got even more insight from these guys and others, make sure you download the Fantasy Life app, search Flaffle in the Discovery tab, or just look at the trending chats. Flaffle is typically number one. Remember, Flaffle means family.
All right, let's get into it here. Can you guys see my my DraftKings page?
Yep.
If I put my head right next to the screen, I can see it perfect.
All right, well, I can see it, so that's all that matters. Let's
Yeah,
start
that's
up
all
top here. Obviously, probably the top overall play on the board at QB is Drew Brees. How do you guys feel about him? Cheesy, you want to start off on Drew Brees?
I would love to. So, last week I talked him up. I feel like he was going way under owned for some reason. Drew Brees at home. Death taxes, Drew Brees at home. That's who you trust. And just put him in cash. That's what you do. Lions defense, the worst team defense in DVOA, worst pass defense. In 5 career games against the Lions, Brees is averaging 346 yards per game and has 16 touchdowns and just 2 picks. So, pretty
Yeah, there's
open close case right
the
there.
spot doesn't get much better there. Let's see, who else? Do you guys just want to get into that game? Because I know that's pretty much all the fantasy goodness is in this Detroit-New Orleans game. You guys just want to touch on a couple other plays and we can get into them deeper when we go to positional rankings?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
How do you feel about Stafford in this one, Charles?
Actually, I'm probably fading Stafford here. I know it is at the Coors Field of NFL, but I don't know. The Saints defense has actually been picking it up some. Stafford hasn't been airing the ball out. They're playing a lot of more of a short game, passing game. I don't see it for Stafford this week. I think there's much better options at his price range, but I mean, definitely Drew Brees all the way in this game.
Yeah, Cheesy, how about you? What's your take on Stafford here?
Well, I think I could get behind Stafford and cash and GPP. Saints defense. It's Jared Goff had 3 touchdowns against them. Jared Goff is terrible.
Oh, come on. Someone played 2 career games.
That settled down after the first half, though.
Yeah,
It did. In the first half.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know one of them was a turnover, short field.
I don't know.
If you're off Stafford, then Charles, who are you looking to at around that price range?
At around that price range, I love Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan, he's only $6,800, $200 cheaper. He's averaging 25 DK points at home per game this season. The Chiefs defense, they're 20th in passing touchdowns and passing yards allowed this season. And they're also 21st in pass DVOA against number one wide receivers, which comes in play with one of my other favorite plays of this later on that we'll get into.
Yeah, I like Matt Ryan there too, but I think you're going to want to pay up at running back and some other positions. So probably the best move I would say is to save at quarterback. And obviously a play that a lot of people are going to be on is Colin Kaepernick. You guys want to talk about him?
Yeah, see, Kaepernick's pretty obviously the play, but I just feel like people hate him. Like,
that's true.
He may kneel for the national anthem. He may not vote. He may look like Squidward. He may not have won a game since October 18th, 2015, and has a ridiculous afro. But, like, he just puts up points every week.
Yeah, his last 4 games, 27.2, 23.9, 19.4, and 37.1 DraftKings points. So he's been getting it done.
Cash, GPP, just rock Kaepernick.
I think he's probably, against this Bears defense that doesn't have Jarrell Freeman, doesn't have Danny Trevathan, literally their only bright spot is probably Pernell McPhee. I think he's a lock for 3X. What do you think, Charles?
Oh, I love Kaepernick. I mean, he's easily my favorite cash play of the week. I mean, you factor in his rushing yards too. I mean, he's running average of 7 attempts and 62 yards a game, so that right there gives him a 6-point floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna plug him into the cash line if that's cool with you guys.
Sounds good.
All right, starting up top here. This is probably the biggest decision of the week, I think, is do we want to go David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell or possibly even both?
Is there a decision? I mean, it's David Johnson. It's got to be.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Charles.
Okay. Why so heavy in favor of David Johnson over Le'Veon Bell?
Well, first, the Redskins, they're 32nd in run DVOA this season. Not that matchup really matters for David Johnson a whole lot, but the guy's just been ridiculous. He's had over 100 total yards from scrimmage in every game and has scored a touchdown in all but 4 games this year. His floor is just ridiculous.
His worst game all year is 15 DraftKings points. That's absurd.
Let me just throw in my little David Johnson nuggets. He has 3+ catches and 25+ yards in every game this season. And he also has very similar receiving numbers to DeAndre Hopkins. Just 3, and he has the same amount of catches, same amount of touchdowns, and 3 more yards as DeAndre Hopkins.
Jesus.
That is ridiculous.
I don't know if that speaks more to David Johnson or how bad DeAndre Hopkins has been. But David Johnson's a beast. We're putting him in there. Who else do we like? We're going to have to save probably a little bit more here at running back. Who else do you guys like? Who do you like, Charles?
One way that I'm looking to go with my own cash lineup actually is a Kaepernick and Hyde pairing.
Okay.
Hyde has been great when he's healthy. The 49ers are 6th in the league in rush attempts. And like you mentioned earlier, the Bears defense is pretty much a shell of itself right now because of injuries and suspension. And at Hyde's current salary, he only needs to hit 13 DraftKings points to reach value. And I believe it was only 3 games this season that he hasn't reached that. And all 3 of those were against some pretty tough opponents.
Are you worried at all about his attempt numbers? Because, 3 of the last 4, he's gotten 13, 13, and 14. But he has, in the last 2 games, actually been getting receptions, which Carlos Hyde isn't known for. He's gotten 8 receptions in the last 2 games. So
yeah, no, I think the extra work in the passing game is why he's had a few less attempts. And then plus Kaepernick's effectiveness running on his own, which I think that really does help Hyde.
Cheesy, how about you?
My cash player pool of running backs doesn't consist of him. I just didn't really consider him. I guess he's a fine play, but I'm going to be underweight on him in GPP. I don't know. Bears, I don't know.
There's a few other low guys that I like a lot too.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. I think Devontae Booker is in for a nice spot here. Maybe not in cash, but and then Jeremy Hill at, what is he, 40?
Devontae Booker's been so bad.
I know, he's terrible, but like, Jaguars funnel defense.
Yeah, I could see, especially if
Paxton Lynch.
Trevor Sim, yeah, Paxton Lynch is starting this game. Unless you guys like down low.
I know
I
Cheesy mentioned Jeremy Hill. I know that. I think that's a great play, even though it's against Philly. I don't think their defense has been that strong lately, though.
Yeah, he's only 4-3. You only need around 12 points from him.
With Gio being out now, he's getting the receiving work too. Like it's, if we want to get DJ and we want to maybe get Julio, I think Hill's a pretty good option here.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with Hill here. How do you guys feel about putting Hill in? We can always move up later if we need the salary.
Hey, I'm good with Hill.
All right, let's plug in Hill and we'll move on to wide receiver. All right, starting up top, Antonio Brown at home or Julio Jones versus KC. Who do you guys like better between those two? Antonio Brown is 400 more than Julio Jones.
It's Julio.
It's Julio?
Oh, yeah. I'm leaning heavily towards Julio, too.
He shouldn't see Eddie Marcus Peters, I believe, in this game.
Maybe so.
Even if he does, I don't think that's something you got to worry too much about. I mean, Peters, I think he takes too many chances, and with Julio, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Is there any other top receivers, like above the 8K range you like for cash? I guess we could also throw Amari Cooper in there. Do you like any of those other guys?
I like Cooper, but I mean, you never play OBJ in cash. That's just ludicrous. And then, I mean, Mike Evans, he could blow up. He could do anything. Like, Julio's a safe play.
Okay, so let's lock in Julio, and then we got 4,280 remaining per player. So we're gonna have to move down to the mid range, I believe here. Who do you guys like? Down probably under 6K, I would say.
I think there's actually quite a few good cash game plays down that low.
Okay.
I mean, we could go Anquan Bolden. That's a great way to get a piece of the Saints-Lions game.
What's Bolden's price this week?
41.
He's only 4,100.
Oh, wow.
Which is, it's crazy.
He's got the most red zone targets on their team, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He's leading in red zone targets. I mean, they're basically using him as a tight end. And we know how Saints have done against tight ends.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Who else do we like? Down here? Cheesy?
I love Marcus Wilson.
Oh, Marquise Wilson. There we go.
MARQUES $.
Look at
That's how you spell his name.
29.5 last game, and he looked pretty good with Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley actually did not look too bad in that game.
I'm using him in cash.
He made some dumb mistakes, but I mean, other than that, he looked pretty sharp.
I mean, that wasn't like.
Would you use? Huh?
That wasn't like the Titans' defense is pretty terrible, but so is the 49ers. That's why I think Barkley could have I think he's gonna be my FanDuel cash quarterback.
Oh, okay. Charles, how do you feel about Marquise Wilson down here?
I'm good with Wilson. I don't mind Wilson at all. He should definitely see the work, and at only 4,000, it won't take him much to hit value.
Yeah, 11 targets last week. I think he's a better wide receiver, in my opinion, than
Meredith?
Meredith, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so who else do you guys like down here? We can put Marquise Wilson in, and then we can find
Bolden, Wilson. I like Garcon, and I also like Kenny Stills if Devontae Parker sits. Revenge game. Kenny Stills, who's on Baltimore for like a week or something.
I'm pretty sure Parker's going to be out because they called up a receiver from the practice squad.
Yeah, no, Parker. I think Parker is doubtful.
He missed practice again today. So
I saw someone say he's doubtful. I don't know.
All right, let's plug in Marquise Wilson real quick then, and we can always. So now we have 4,350. Who else do we like at? We have to plug in 2 cheap receivers if we want to play Dave Johnson and Julio. Scrolling down the list here. Willie Snead. How do you guys feel about Willie Snead?
Actually, I've got him ranked as my second favorite cash play, and really the only Saints wide receiver I want in cash this week.
Really? What is Michael Thomas's price this week?
Thomas is all the way up to 6,900, and then Cooks is down at 6,400.
Yeah, Hopkins is 6K. We'll get to that in the next segment.
No.
All right, let's plug in Willie Snead. I think we have the salary for Willie Snead. So we got Julio, Willie Snead, and Marquise Wilson. How do you guys feel about that trio hitting value this week?
Love it.
I mean, I'm not crazy about Willie Snead, but Charles is a smart guy. I have faith in him.
I mean, if you take away when Snead was hurt, he's had at least 7 targets at home. And he's missed double-digit scoring in only one game this season at home, and he's averaging 18 points at home. And the guy who's supposed to be covering Willie Snead, I can't even say his name, but Diggs, in his last 5 games, he's allowed receivers to catch 17 out of 20 targets.
All right. I can definitely get behind that, especially in that game, which should be – what's the over-under in that game? It's got to be ridiculous.
53.5 or 53, I think.
53.5, yeah.
I think it went up, didn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's up to – oh, no, it's 53.5 still.
Do you have the percentage bets on the over there, Charles?
Huh?
You have the percentage bets on the over there?
Let's see. On the over, it's 80% on the over.
Wow. All right, so we're gonna roll with Willie Snead. Just because we don't have a piece of that game so far. So definitely want to get a piece of that in my cash lineup. Who do we like? You know what? We can pick. Let's pick a tight end. Who do you guys like a tight end here? We're gonna need to save some money because we have 4,100 remaining per player.
This is kind of why I don't want to use Willie Snead. We don't have enough money for Jimmy Graham, who is my favorite player of the week. But Josh Hill, 2,500, out-snapped Kobe Fleener, out-targeted Kobe Fleener. Kobe Fleener's terrible. Josh Hill's not terrible. I don't know. Lions defense. I think Hill doesn't really have much of a ceiling, but
the only thing with Hill is he's actually, while he played more snaps, I believe they ran the same amount of routes.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
And I think Fleener played more in the red zone, which does worry me. Yeah. But I mean, he's min-price against the Lions. So if we want to punt at tight end, I think that's definitely probably the best punt. Who else do we like for cheap tight ends? Anyone? What is Bennett's 4,800 with Gronk out?
I don't think we should touch Bennett this week. He's battling an ankle issue still himself.
Yeah, he returned to practice today.
And with Dion Lewis back in the mix, Lewis had 7 targets last game. So
yeah,
I think that's going to hurt Bennett a lot too. One of the guys that I like a lot, I don't know how it's going to work pricing-wise, but Travis Kelce. He's one of my favorite cash plays this week. That matchup against Atlanta is just too sweet. Let's see, where is it? The Falcons. Okay, I pulled it up on the trends tool on Fantasy Labs earlier. The Falcons are allowing 13 DK points per game to tight ends, and they have exceeded expectations 77% of the time with a plus-minus of 6.5, which is 5th worst in the league against tight ends.
That's nice. That's definitely a juicy matchup, especially if is Macklin still out here? Did Macklin return to practice?
He's been back at practice the last 2 weeks, but I pulled the splits on it, and Kelce really doesn't lose any production or gain any production when Macklin's in or out.
Yeah, I believe I saw that earlier this year too. So what's the problem is we're probably not going to be able to afford Kelce. We can put him in for now and see. Let's pick a defense then. We have 3,800 remaining per player, so we're probably going to have to go cheap at defense here. I think if we're going cheap at defense, I like the Jags a lot if Paxton Lynch is in this game. I know the Jags aren't a good defense, but it's Paxton Lynch.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to leave the call. TJ just said to use the Jaguars defense.
Dude, it's against Paxton Lynch, and we got to save some money. What do you want? Who else do you like down here?
Redskins are the play.
Redskins?
Yeah.
They might be a play.
They're the play.
Redskins aren't too bad.
Redskins.
Even if Paxton Lynch, you guys can't get behind Jags if Paxton Lynch is the starter in Denver and he's going across the country to play.
I don't know. I haven't really looked at a whole lot of defenses besides Denver. I basically, when I opened up my lineup builder, Denver was the first thing I plugged in.
Yeah, it's either Denver. But
I'd like to play Denver, but we don't have the money really, unless we want it. If we plug in Denver, we have 3,700 for a flex. Unless you guys got a flex play for 3,700.
Malcolm Mitchell.
Malcolm Mitchell on the Pats. Let's see who's down here. Kenneth Dixon. Here's Malcolm Mitchell.
Who's Tampa is playing? What, San Diego, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know how San Diego's been on tight ends. I mean, we could always go 2 tight ends. I know Braid's around that price. I think Braid is 3,700.
Is Tampa Bay home this week?
No, they're in San Diego.
That's San Diego doesn't have a home field.
Braid's 3,600.
Yeah, Braid's home road splits are ridiculous too.
He's got 15 points a game at home and 9 points a game on the road.
Yeah, I remember looking at that last week and then getting burned.
5, my bad.
Because his touchdown got taken away.
15 at home and 5 on the road. Yeah, I don't. This is tough.
And Colby Fleener, 3,500.
Oh, we're not playing. Wait, Cheesy. Here's your guy Vernon Davis. Has Jordan Reed been ruled out yet?
Not yet, but against that Arizona defense, I don't think I'd touch them. They've been awesome against tight ends this year.
Yeah, beginning of the week.
I would rather punt at tight end and go with Hill, and then see what we could find before we do something like that.
Beginning of the week, I thought Vernon Davis was a play, and then I saw they've given up 27 total DraftKings points or something, or 20. It's something stupid like that.
It is something insane.
We have some decent money to play with now. We can go Jamison Crowder at flex. Who else do you guys like under 6K at flex?
Under 6, Crowder is actually who I have plugged in on my flex. Let's see. We got Emmanuel Sanders going against Jacksonville.
Their pass defense has been pretty tough.
Yeah, they have been. Oh, Theo Riddick against the Saints.
But,
I mean, what? Yeah, we don't really have much else, do we?
Oh, that's what I was going to get into. I guess we could talk about in GPP is how many like players do we want to play in this Saints in Detroit game? We have Willis Snead. We can play Riddick. We can get more into it in the GPP, but for right now, let's just pick our cash game flex.
I mean, I'm
Martin.
Doug Martin's that cheap, really? Oh yeah, he sure is. 57.
Yeah.
Against San Diego.
Nobody's talking about him. I mean, maybe not in cash. I think he'll be fine for cash, but
I'd rather play Jamison Crowder, I think, for cash.
Yeah, Crowder's
yeah.
safe.
Yeah, I'd rather Crowder. The San Diego's run defense has been kind of solid.
Yeah, they've gotten better. So do you want to go Crowder here? If we go Crowder here, that leaves us with no money left.
Perfect.
All right, here's our lineup. Colin Kaepernick at quarterback. Our running backs are David Johnson and Jeremy Hill. We have Julio Jones at wide receiver along with Marquise Wilson and Willie Snead. And then we have Josh Hill at tight end. Jamison Crowder in our flex and the Broncos defense. That rounds up all 50,000. Or actually, we have 100 remaining in salary if we want to improve anywhere here. That gives us – we can go from Marquise Wilson to
No, Marquise Wilson's going to be the best play of the week.
Yeah, because the only thing that you could go there would be either Bolden or Tyler Boyd, I think. But, yeah, I think Lee's the better
We can go Taylor Gabriel.
They should just have him and Tyreek Hill run a race before the game.
He's basically locked for a 75-yard touchdown, I believe, at this point. Yeah, let's throw in because Meredith's 100 more than Wilson, but I prefer Wilson.
Oh, yeah, easily.
All right, so let's keep everything the same there, and then we can move on to our GPP lineup. So I'll clear this out. All right, back to quarterback. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, so quarterback GPP, who do we like up top here? Drew Brees again. I think he's fine in every format. How do you guys feel about Brady and Roethlisberger up there?
I'll let you take that, Cheesy. I think you had Roethlisberger, didn't you, as one of yours?
At home, yeah.
And I have a nice little nuggets here. 6 road games this season for Big Ben, 233 yards per game, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Roethlisberger, 4 games at Heinz Field this season, 337 yards, 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. Also have extra rest because they played on Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
I think he's going to go on their own because people think the Giants' defense is good. I'm a Giants fan. They've played like Cleveland and Chicago and all these terrible teams. They're not good.
Their corners aren't too bad, but yeah, a Big Ben at home. I think he's pretty much almost matchup proof. I can get behind that. I like who else up here? We already talked about Matt Ryan a little bit. We can go Matt Ryan, Julio stack. How about Aaron Rodgers? I think Aaron Rodgers might go a little bit overlooked this week. What do you think, Charles?
I think he's definitely going to go overlooked, especially with the news about him kind of having a hamstring issue right now, but I don't think that's really going to be a problem.
Uh-huh.
I love his price, too. He's down at 6,700. I believe this is the first time he's been under 7,000 this season. The Houston D's done fairly well against QBs, but Rodgers has put up at least 26 points in his last 6 games, and 4 of those games were on the road. I mean, Houston is allowing only 15 points per game to the quarterback, but they have allowed 3 QBs to go over 20, and 2 of those were their last 2 games. And I think they let Bortles put up 19 a week before that also.
Yeah, I definitely like Rodgers. Interesting here. He's actually been better on the road than he has at home this season. 28 points per game on the road, 22.7 at home. But he's also faced some tougher opponents, I believe. So we can definitely throw in Rodgers there. Around that price range, we have Phillip Rivers too, and Derek Carr. How do you feel about Phillip Rivers in this spot?
I think that we shouldn't play Aaron Rodgers. I will not have a single share of him. Just throwing that out there.
Why is that?
I don't really have much of a reason, but when I made my GPP player pool, he did not find any of the 10 spots that I have. But Phillip Rivers and Jameis Winston both did. I kind of like game stacking that game. I don't think anyone's going to be game stacking that. And I think that could be a shootout. I think the total's at 49. I could see that providing some fantasy goodness.
Definitely some shootout potential there. And then let's go down. Do you guys have a certain game we want? Do we want to try making a game stack of this Detroit New Orleans game, which will probably be one of the chalky options of GPP, or do we want to go a little bit different?
Ever since the Jay Cutler fiasco, I'm pretty avoiding game stacks.
Oh, come on. This is not going to be nearly the same situation here.
It was such a good spot.
No, but this is Drew Brees at home versus like the worst pass defense in the league. There's the odds of this game not shooting out to me are so small. I love a game stack of this. We can go elsewhere. What else do you guys want to give me some ideas here of a stack we want to make?
I mean, that's
Matt Barkley, Marcus Wilson.
No.
Yeah.
I think. What do you guys think of? Do you think the strategy for tournaments is not playing David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, or do you think you still have to play David Johnson in tournaments, or you can even pivot off David Johnson and go Le'Veon Bell? Do you guys think it'll be less owned? What do you guys think, Ed?
I think it's probably better in tournaments to go low at running back since everybody's going to want to try to get a piece of David Johnson. Unless you're looking at McCoy, I think he's in an awesome spot this week, especially with all the injuries that they have at wide receiver right now.
Yeah, so are you guys cool with me putting in Drew Brees if we're gonna save at running back, or do you want to go?
I don't know if we're saving a running back, but Drew Brees is pretty safe to just throw up there.
Yeah, let's put in Drew Brees. Well, I mean, we're saving by not playing David Johnson or Le'Veon Bell. So who you guys mentioned Shady?
My favorite play of the week at running back in GPPs is LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette Blount, what's his price on DraftKings this week?
55. Yeah.
All right, tell us your LeGarrette Blount love, Cheesy.
I don't really have many stats to back it up, but I do know that Mark Ingram looked good against the Rams. So, Mark Ingram's cursed, so LeGarrette Blount's not cursed. They're 2 touchdown favorites, and they have all these injuries they're dealing with. I could just see them giving Blount 40 carries and putting up a Jonas Gray-esque game, 40 carries, 200 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
I like that. Charles, I see you like Deion Lewis, I know, this week.
Yeah, more just as kind of a sneaky, different way to go.
What's his?
His snaps have been low. He's only played 21 and 23 snaps, but he's only 3,800, and and he's had 8 and 10 touches in his first 2 games. And like I said earlier, he had 7 targets in his last game. And the Rams have allowed 3 receiving touchdowns to running backs in the last 3 games. 2 of them were to the Saints, and then 1 back to the Jets back in Week 10.
Yeah,
I think he might find his way into the end zone this week, especially with Gronk being out.
I'm a big Deion Lewis believer. I've had him on my season-long bench all season, waiting for him to come back, or on my IR spot.
Yeah, I picked him up in Week 4.
If you watch this guy play, he's just so good at, he's so elusive. It's crazy. I can definitely get with Deion Lewis. Who else any other running backs you guys want to touch on for GPP?
Before we stop talking about Deion Lewis, I want to tell everyone a dynasty trade I made with him. In my dynasty league, I have a team that's just absolutely loaded at receiver. I have Tony Brown, AJ Green, Allen Robinson, Moncrief, Willie Snead, and I also had Keenan Allen. Traded him straight up for Deion Lewis before the season.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
how bold I was on Deion Lewis. It's not really working out.
I mean, at least Deion Lewis is playing.
He's not. I'm not going to even start him anyway.
All right, let's. I guess we can throw him in there. Let's throw Deion Lewis in there. That's going to be. I doubt he has much ownership this week.
Oh God, no. He's going to go very.
So let's play up a little bit more. Someone in the Jordan Howard is 6'9". I was thinking about playing Jordan Howard. I did not realize he was that expensive this week. You guys have any love for Jordan Howard against?
I think at that price, he's going to go under-owned.
Yeah, worse. I mean, you can't ask for a better matchup.
Yeah.
Charles, how do you feel about Jordan Howard?
He actually went under my radar. I haven't even really looked at Howard much. I spent most of my time either I plugged in DJ and then I would drop down low on running backs after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's last 4 weeks, 26, 15, 17, and 18. Those are his carry numbers. So he's getting the work, and this is, again, a terrible San Francisco run defense.
He had 87% of the running back touches for the Bears last week. If he does that again this week, God, he's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing well even behind a patchwork offensive line. I mean, I'm fine with Howard. Howard sounds like a good one to me.
I think patchwork is a compliment to the Bears' offensive line.
Let's scroll down a little bit. We can always put in Theo Riddick if we're going to go a little bit more game stack. He's 5,800 though. That might be a little too expensive. What do you guys think? We already touched on him a little bit.
I think we should put Howard in as RB2.
Oh. Yeah, let's put in. We'll put in Howard and we'll move to wide receiver. So we have more salary this time around, about 5,300 remaining per player. Do we want to go? If we're picking a wide receiver up top, who's best for GPP, taking into account ownership in this one? You guys think it's still Julio Jones?
Yeah, it's Julio, but I mean, I don't know if we want to put him in both of our line. I mean, I'm going to be putting him in both my lineup, like cash and GPP. But I don't know. Give the fans something juicy. I'm all in on DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. We'll get to that.
I got to hear this topic later.
Top first. Antonio Brown at home is just an animal. I mean,
God, that Ben A.B.
I think I like be so Jones better too. That's tough for me.
I don't think you can go wrong with either of them.
With their price being so close, you can just flip a coin.
Yeah, so let's plug in Julio again for now, just because he's $400 cheaper, and if we have the salary, we can always move up. You guys think Julio will be more owned? Any idea it's the ownership there? Or?
He should be the most owned of the four.
All right, so let's move down then a little bit. Cheesy touched on DeAndre Hopkins. Let's hear this take.
So you all heard me before. He has 3 less receiving yards and the same amount of catches and touchdowns as David Johnson. That's not good.
It's been horrible.
Also not good. He's hit 3x just once this season.
Jeez.
But Packers ranked 29th against wide receiver ones.
Alshon Jeffrey type spot here, Cheesy. I believe I got warned against Alshon Jeffrey then too.
Does that mean Breeze is going to turn into our Cutler this week?
Yeah,
no,
I'm really afraid of that. I'm going to be underweight on Drew Brees, and I know it.
Well, we should. Okay, as much as Cheesy likes DeAndre Hopkins, we should probably stack around Drew Brees here. We already have Snead. What is Brandon Cook's price? Complete bagel last week, not even a target.
Cooks is
So
only
that's
64.
That's an interesting discussion. Who do we think's higher owned, Thomas or Cooks?
I think.
I think Thomas is going to go high owned.
Yeah, Thomas
I
has been.
think Cooks is the way to go. He's the squeaky wheel, as they say.
See, I think
he complained about his targets. I believe his agent also said something too. Squeaky wheel gets
Plus,
the grease.
just his big play potential is ridiculous, especially at home.
He's a little overpriced, but I guess it'll bring down ownership. I think he's a little overpriced in this spot, but we can definitely.
I think he's always a little overpriced.
Yeah, but you're paying for that big play potential there.
I just want to give
What was that, Cheesy?
To Rob right now. He's actually watching us live, so shout out to Rob.
Oh, shout out to Rob.
I just saw that. Hey, Rob.
Rob couldn't make it tonight, so doing the hosting duties. Hopefully, I'm subbing.
He'll be back.
Pretty well fun. Let's so we're gonna have to save here some more. How do you guys feel about, if we're stacking around this game a little bit, Marvin Jones Jr.? How do you feel about Marvin Jones? He has not scored over 10 points in, what is this, 4 weeks since he's gotten over 10 points.
He was like the fifth highest price receiver.
Yeah, he went from week 4, I believe. He was priced 70, or week 5, 7,600, and now he's 4,400.
Yeah, I think that's just a sign. Like, at some point, he's
got
it. Yeah, at some point. And this is
11 targets last week.
You would think.
Can he have a better spot than this? Probably not. I mean, obviously not.
How do we feel about it? Can we?
Can we pen? I mean, I think we should.
I mean, it is GPP. We want upside.
We got to run it back somewhere.
Yeah, we got to run it back, I guess. You know, we can plug in Marvin Jones. We can always change it. We got 11 targets last week. I mean,
it's not a terrible play.
Yeah, it's not a terrible play at all.
Wait. That's how we're judging this.
He's got potential. Can he get 25 points in this game? You think it's possible?
Is he a better or worse play than DeAndre Hopkins?
I think he's a much better play.
Just because of the salary difference, I think he's a better play.
Because I mean, I think he can realistically hit 25 points, and if he does, that's 6x, almost. Yeah, a little bit under 6x, which I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't really see anybody else in that price range that could have that ceiling.
Yeah, is there anyone else we like at wide receiver that we can touch on? Tyreek Hill. How do we feel about Tyreek Hill?
Only if Macklin's out for me.
The guy's a beast.
I don't like Kenny Britt.
Oh, yeah, Kenny Britt is down around there, huh?
What is Kenny Britt's price this week? There he is.
5,000.
5,000. Yeah, he's not been bad.
The Giants were playing at home, I would say Sterling Shepard, since they don't want to throw him anything in the red zone on the road.
I went out and apologized to Sterling Shepard. That might be the narrative right there.
Yeah, I did see that. Eli Manning did say he wants to get Sterling Shepard the ball more.
Mike Walsh should
bounce back spot for Will Fuller here? Or no, we're not on that.
No. Doesn't he have some kind of nagging injury? I know he is not on the report, but I know I've seen tweets that he's got something bothering him.
I believe he had hamstring issues in college. I could be wrong on that, but I believe he had hamstring issues in college.
I know there was a hamstring issue in the season too.
Yeah, earlier this year too.
You've got to stay away from that.
Yeah, so we're gonna stay away from him there. Who else down here?
I'm all for the Kenny Britt. You guys want to do Kenny Britt instead of Marvin Jones? Yeah, they've given up a lot. I mean, they've given up a lot of lots of receivers.
Malcolm Mitchell, Cheesy touched on him earlier. Cheesy, you want to talk about Malcolm Mitchell a little bit down at 3,600?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say, but like Gronk out, all these guys banged up. Brady kind of likes this guy. He's had 2 touchdowns last week. I don't know.
Yeah, touchdowns on the week.
Got a good feeling about him.
Yeah, he seems to be Brady's guy lately.
Although I do like Tyler Lockett $100 more.
Tyler Lockett. Ooh.
Yeah.
They're playing Carolina, right?
Yeah, their secondary is terrible.
Could always do the double dip with Lockett in Seattle defense.
After the last 2 weeks, I think we should stay away from the double dip.
Crowder scored the week we went Redskins double dip.
Yeah, we didn't get the return touchdown.
What you got to do?
All right, let's move on to tight end. We can always go back to wide receiver if we're feeling it. So we got just over 4,000 remaining per player, so we can
Yeah, we got to get Jimmy Graham in this lineup.
We gotta go Jimmy Graham. Oh, he's 5,500 though. You still fine playing him?
I don't really
Yeah.
think there's a lot else at tight end this week. Like, I really don't like tight end this week.
My
I
five.
think I'd rather go Kelsey. Personally.
My GPP player pool for tight ends is 5 people deep.
Damn. Mine was I had Kelsey in there and Eric Ebron, and that's about it. Oh no, Charles Clay as an off the wall punt, just complete punt at tight end.
Nah,
As I said earlier, with all the injuries,
2,600.
Yeah, the Bills are probably gonna, or possibly without Watkins. Let's see, I had the list: Watkins, Woods, and Harvin
16
are potentially out.
Injury report.
Jeez, yeah. If they're without even 2 of those guys, I'm fine with Charles Clay, even though he's been pretty bad this season.
Yeah, I don't really think
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really thrilled about it at all. That's only last resort punt.
Yeah, last resort. Okay.
Giants can't.
I would love to try to get Jimmy Graham in there.
Giants can't cover tight ends. I like Ladarius Green.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ladarius Green in this Pittsburgh offense. We can always go punt with Josh Hill again.
There's no upside. I'd rather punt with Clay than Hill.
Yeah. All right, let's
Any love for Bob Vance McDonald?
Anyone for Ebron? We got to talk about him if we're playing people from this game, right?
And Crumbolden's a tight end.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Ebron. I've been burned by Ebron a lot. Me and Ebron have some history.
All right, let's oh man, who do we go? Should we go Kelsey, you think, or
there's no reason not to play Jimmy Graham if we can afford him.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 800 more than Kelsey. I'd plug him in and see what happens.
Now we left with 33.50 remaining, so we're gonna have to punt that defense and then see what we can do at flex. So defense, I know you guys said you liked Redskins. I'm fine punting there. Carson Palmer is washed up.
I was having this debate with someone earlier today. I think he's equally as terrible as Blake Bortles. Like, they're neck and neck. And then Brock Osweiler's like a baby step.
He's so bad.
That's 30, 31, and 32 quarterback right there.
All right. We'll plug in Redskins. So that leaves us 4,300 at the flex. Let's scroll down here. Who do we got at flex? All right.
43?
Jeremy Hill, 43, yeah. Jeremy Hill is probably the top guy at that price. I don't know if we want to play him again. Pierre Garçon. Any of you like Pierre Garçon here?
Not really.
Not really for GPP.
Yeah.
Anquan Bolden?
Got that upside.
What do you say?
I don't know if he's got that upside. What about Gates? How's Tampa been on tight ends?
He had a donut last week.
He did, but the season is coming to a close, and they got to get him.
They got to get his record.
Touchdowns.
Yeah. We're gonna put 2 bagels in the lineup though with Brandon Cooks and
old man Gates is about to.
I'm always a fan of old tight ends. That's like, I'm on board already.
So
he's got the upside.
Ultimate bounce back spot with Brandon Cooks and Antonio Gates.
Home game too.
Can I talk about
get Gates the record at home in front of the fans?
Did I just hear Capri Bibbs?
Yeah.
I thought I heard that. That's why you have to keep talking.
I heard Chris Collinsworth was talking about this.
Wait, did you just say Chris Collinsworth? Is that who you're going with? No, that's
just because his voice is terrible doesn't mean he's the worst player, worst person.
He's not the worst, but he's getting there.
He's close.
If Parker's out, Kenny Stills.
Stills that kills is always a GPP play.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can't afford Stills, can we? How much is
he?
He's 39. Yeah, plug him in. Yeah. Baltimore's been rough against deep ball.
Yeah, I believe that's where they're most susceptible. All right, so let's plug him in. It can always be changed if Devontae Parker is in. Would you play him if Devontae Parker's playing? Or
I mean,
I really don't think Parker's playing. Like I said earlier, they called up somebody, a receiver from the practice squad, and that's usually a sign.
Yeah. And Parker got robbed last week, man.
Yeah, he did. That was rough.
All right, so let's just run. What were you going to say, Cheesy?
I was going to say something stupid, but Parker's not playing.
Okay. All right, I'll run through the lineup. We have 400 remaining, so tell me if there's anywhere you want to move up. I'm going to run through it real quick. Drew Brees in this high-scoring game at quarterback. Jordan Howard and Dion Lewis at running back. Both should be pretty low ownership, I believe. Julio Jones, top wide receiver on the board. Brandon Cooks and Marvin Jones, again with that game stack. Jimmy Graham at tight end. Our flex is Kenny Stills, and we have Redskins defense. We have 400 remaining. Anywhere you guys want to move up? Or
I just don't like. I'm not 100% on Dion Lewis, but whatever.
Well, let's see what we got here. Who we got at running back?
But there's only two options.
Hill's around there, but I just don't like Hill's upside.
Hill's, we don't have the money for Hill. 100 short.
Kenny Green was back this week.
I think
that'd be nice.
Is he really?
No, I said if he was.
Oh.
He's back next week.
I think we definitely have to play. I mean, there's not really anyone else I'd play over Dion Lewis in the spot.
I mean, Terrence West, maybe?
I'd rather play Dion Lewis.
Yeah, his production has gone down a lot.
When you got the full point PPR, I mean.
If I could bet under 9.5 in that Dolphins-Ravens game, I think I would.
Yeah, there's no one I would play down here. Is Christine Michael? Did he? Oh, he had one. I'm just wondering.
Michael is on Mark territory. They're
Oh, he's definitely cursed. I don't know, dude. I can't. I'm so happy I traded him the week before he got cut.
Really?
Yeah. I traded him as
part of Tom Brady for him in that same dynasty.
Part of a deal for Le'Veon Bell. So.
Jeez. That's ridiculous.
Let's. I guess we're just gonna stick with Dion Lewis. Anywhere else we want to spend this 400 salary? I mean, defense. I guess we could move up.
I don't think there's really a defense worth moving up to. That's only 400.
The defense.
Chiefs defense. I know they're playing Atlanta, but Chiefs defense always has upside.
Not in Atlanta.
I guess they
were playing at home, maybe, but not on the road.
Eagles
it's almost like office for their road splits there.
Eagles defense, where are they at?
I think they're too hard, too much.
Yeah, they're too expensive.
And going against Brock is not a bad play. Packers D. I know they're pretty terrible, but
what's their price? 2,900. That's out of our range. Quit picking defenses out of our range, Teasy.
I'm just saying all the ones that are in my pool.
Yeah, the only one that I would think about moving up to, and I'm not really thinking about it, would be Jacksonville. But I'd rather stay Washington.
Jags D.
Give me Packers D versus Jags D, TJ.
I'll get contingent on Paxton Lynch starting that game. I'm not playing him if Trevor Simeon's in.
Fine.
All right. So I got Jacksonville. Who'd you say you want?
Packers.
Oh, I'll take that any day. All right. I'll spot you the price difference too. You don't even got to spot me any points. All right, let's plug in Redskins. I guess we'll just keep it. I'll run through it one more time just for the listeners here. Drew Brees at quarterback, Dion Lewis and Jordan Howard at running back. Julio Jones, Brandon Cooks, and Marvin Jones are our receivers. Jimmy Graham at tight end, Kenny Stills, the deep threat at flex, and the Redskins defense. How does that sound to you guys? Like a millionaire maker winning lineup?
I hope so. Stop plugging it in.
That can't win $1 million. I think it's going to be the four of us all using the same lineup. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Millie Maker.
Yeah,
it's all right. I don't mind sharing.
All right, let me. I gotta get off the.
Oh, that's awesome looking.
All right, there we go. That's a wrap for us. How do you guys feel about the lineups we just made? Pretty confident? I'll be playing them this week.
I really like that cash lineup.
I have something I'm supposed to read now.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at HouseMoneyDFS. Also, come back to the site tomorrow for our daily NBA slate breakdown and projections.
And NFL article will be up tomorrow.
Yep, my FanDuel article will be up as well. It will be loaded with hot takes with Capri Bibs.
All right. Now that we got that shameless plug out of the way, why don't we just say any last words for listener, Charles?
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck
It's
to
easy to follow
everyone.
on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you throw out our Twitter handles? I'm at TJ_Brashears, BRASHEARS. Charles, what's your Twitter handle? Fill that out for
At the real CRF TV, because for some crazy reason somebody else already had CRF TV.
But he's the real one. Don't
Some
worry.
troll is going to make the fake CRF TV.
Yeah.
It's going to happen within the week.
That's how I know I made it then.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Night.